Good morning, students. Good morning to all. And last day we have studied about the monopolistic competitions and the features of monopolistic competitions and the wastage of the monopolistic competitions. So today also just we will remind what we have studied on the last day and we will go to the next concepts. The monopolistic competition refers to a market situations where there are many firms selling a differentiated product. For example, the production of the Colgate or the soaps and shampoo and different type of the perfumes. So all the product is maybe the same, but the production is produced by the different type of the companies. So even there is more demand or the high demand, the people will buy the commodity from all the companies. So in this monopolistic competitions, so many of the wastages also will be available. So many of the wastage will be arised. So what are the wastage will be arised? Mean first one is idle capacity. So idle capacity mean unutilized capacity is the difference between the optimum output that can be produced and the actual output produced by the firm. So even if the producer or if the firm able to produce more commodity, it will not be produced. So it will be not using the resources as the optimum level. So this is done so mainly to create artificial and rise prices. So even if the firms are having the power to produce more commodity or more supply, it will not be increasing the supply, and because of that they will create the artificial demand. Artificial demand mean so there is no demand, but the producers will be created the demand by the way of reducing the supply of commodities. So when the demand is increased, so automatically so the price also will be increased. So this demand is created by the firms. So this leads to excess capacity, which is actually a waste in monopolistic competitions. So even the availability resources are there, the producers will never use the resources. So the resources are the productivity of the factor of production, and the firms also will be as a ideal. So next, unemployment. So under monopolistic competition, the firms produce less than optimum output. As a result, the production capacity is not used to the fullest extent. So if the firms or if the entrepreneurs are not using or not increasing the supply of commodities, he will be using the less amount of the factor of productions only. So because of that, the employment problem will be created. If there is more demand, if there is more supply only, the firms or the entrepreneurs will be arranging the more factor of productions. Okay, if it is not like that, he will be arranging the less factor of productions. Then all other factor of productions will be as low employed. Next, advertisement. So there is a waste in competitive advertisement under the monopolistic competitions. So many of the companies want to earning more profit. Because of that, it will be created the many different type of the advertisement. Otherwise, the firms will be attract the consumers to purchasing their commodities. When they are creating the different type of the advertisement, they will spend more money, and the spend money for the advertisement also included into the product only. So this included amount will be paid by the consumers. So it is also claimed that advertisement cheat the consumers by giving false informations about the product. By creating the more perfection, the firms will be over building on the commodities. So sometimes so the firm will be giving the false informations about the commodities. So this is also one of the wastage of monopolistic competitions. Next, too many varieties of goods. So introducing too many varieties of goods is another waste of monopolistic competitions. The goods differ in size, shape, style and color. A reasonable number of varieties would be sufficient. Cost per unit can also be reduced. So normally in our market, the sufficient level or the less number of item is there, so the consumer will purchase as confidentially. But if you are going to the market, the same product will be produced by different same commodities will be produced by the different firms will be there. So the consumer also will get some of the confused to use the productions. Next, the inefficient firms. So under monopolistic competition, the inefficient firms charge prices higher than their marginal cost. Some of the firms will be fixing the price for their commodities as very high. But even though this type of the companies must be eliminated from the market, but it is not possible because the consumer always want to purchase the commodities produced from this type of company. So some type of the some type of the companies such as inefficient firms also will be available in the market. So the 5 wastage of monopolistics are available or arised in this monopolistic competitions market. Okay student, next we will study about the another one form of market that is called duopoly. So duopoly is a special case of the theory of oligopoly in which there are only two sellers. In this market, if any of the two sellers only available, that is called duopoly. The duopoly, in this meaning itself we can understand. So the meaning duo mean the two. So poly mean the sellers. The two sellers only will be there. Both the sellers are completely independent and no agreement exists between them. So the two sellers also will be independent with each other indirectly, but there is no agreement exists between them. So even though they are independent, a change in the price and output of one will be affect of other. Normally, if two sellers are there in this market and if any one of them fixing very low price for their commodities, so it will be affecting the other seller also, right? So like that, if any one of the sellers are bringing the change on their commodity and the size, shape, color, price, it will be affect the other company also. A seller may assume that his rival is unaffected by which he does. In that case, he takes only his own direct influence on the price. But the two sellers also will have the separate power and rights to fixing the price. But when they are fixing the price, they will consider the other sellers to not affect the sellers. So in this duopoly market also has some of the characteristics. So what characteristics or what are the features are there in this duopoly market mean? First, each seller is fully aware of his rival's motive and actions. If you have considered the two sellers also will be having the more awareness of his rival's motive and actions. In which motive the rivals are going to undertaking their business activity will be absorbed by the other seller. Next, both sellers may collude. May collude means they agree on all matters, but it will be indirectly. It may be sometime they will come to the agreement as directly also. Next, they may enter into the cutthroat competitions. Cutthroat competitions mean, so when they are taking the effort to make the competition with others, it will be never affect the others company. Next, there is no product differentiations. There's no product differentiations mean, for example, we can take the Coca-Cola company and the Pepsi company. So what are the product is produced by the Coca-Cola company? So it will be same taste only is there on the production of Pepsi company also. So for the best example for the duopoly market is the beverage, the Coca-Cola and the Pepsi companies. So they fix the price for their product with a view to maximizing their profit. So when we are comparing the cost of productions, they will earning more profit. Next, another one of the form of market, that is the oligopoly. The oligopoly is a market situation in which there are a few firms selling homogeneous or the differentiated products. So in this market, the number of sellers, the few firms only will be there. So the few firms also will be selling the homogeneous or sometimes the differentiated product. The examples are oil and gas. So Indian gas or what Indian gas or the Bharat Petroleum and the gas companies that, so the 5 or 6 company only there to producing the gas, the Indian or the Bharat gas and the Reliance gas, like that some of the product. So it is difficult to pinpoint the number of firms in competition among the few. So with only a few firms in the market, the action of the firm is likely to affect the others. Suppose if the air ticket or the Tata company cars, so the automobile firms, so the Tata or Ford and Maruti and Honda, so different type of the companies are there. So the price for the cars or the bike will be just only slightly only different from other product. So even though if any of the firms are fixing the price or bringing the new color or the innovations in their product, it will be affect the other persons. Next, the features of oligopoly. So in this oligopoly market also has some of the special features. So what are the features are there? Mean first one is few large firms. So these oligopoly companies mostly will be as a large firms only, but the few firms only will be there. So very few big firms own the major control of the whole market by producing major portion of the market demand. For example, so automobile companies, the Tata and Honda and Hero and Suzuki, Maruti Suzuki and Ford, just the number of products and number of firms only will be there. They will be produce the different or the homogeneous product. But these 5 firms only will be having the more power to dominating the automobile markets. Next, interdependence among firms. So the price and the quality decision of the particular firm are dependent on the price and quality of decisions of the rival firms. Suppose, for example, if the Tata firms or the Tata company is bringing a new type of the car with quality, color and shapes and style, so most of the consumers want to purchasing that car only. Then the demand for the car from other company will be affect. So the other companies also has to bring any of the innovations on their existing commodity. For example, if the Hero companies are bringing any new type of the car, the Honda companies also within a particular period bringing the new innovations or the new type of the car. Next, group behavior. The firms under oligopoly realize the importance of the mutual cooperations. Even some of the slight changes or slight differentiations are there in their product. So among these few firms, the group behaviors will be as the same. The mutual cooperations must be existing in this oligopoly competitions market, because one company will never let other company go down. Next, the advertisement cost. The oligopolist could raise sales either by advertising or improving the quality of the product. Simply if we seeing the TV or any of the movie, the firms will spending more amount to the advertisement for their commodity. So this advertisement cost also will be included in the product only. So the advertisement cost is very higher in this oligopoly market. Next, nature of product. The perfect oligopoly means homogeneous products, and imperfect oligopoly deals with the heterogeneous product. Suppose if any of the companies produce the heterogeneous product, when they are producing the heterogeneous product, there is no perfect competitions will be there. Some of the imperfect competitions will be there when they are producing the heterogeneous product, but the perfect competitions will be available when they are producing the homogeneous product. For example, the beverages items or the airway, are the some of the bikes and some of the automobiles companies. Next, price rigidity. So the oligopoly market implies that prices are difficult to be changed. The oligopolistic firms do not change their prices due to the fear of rivals' reactions. Suppose if any of the company just increasing the price for their product, the rivals firms will never increase the price for their product. When they are not increasing the price for their commodity or their product, so the peoples or the consumers mostly want to purchasing the low commodity product only. So price also will be as rigidity. If they want to bring any of the changes in the price of their commodity, it will be must be independent their rivals firms. So the 6 features are there in this oligopoly market. Next, we will study about some of the comparison among the features of various markets. We have studied the different type of the market situations. So in this different type of the market situations, the 3 types of the market only is very effectively and considerably. So the perfect competitions and the monopoly and the monopolistic competitions. These 3 type of the competitions only mostly available in our nations. So just we will study about the comparisons among these 3 types of competitions. First, if you are considering the features, the number of product or number of sellers in these perfect competitions, innumerable. In these perfect competitions, already we have studied the number of buyers and sellers will be there. We cannot come to the point of the number of buyers and sellers. So innumerable number of sellers and buyers will be there. So in this monopoly market, the only one producers or the only one seller will be there, because already we have studied mono mean single, poly mean seller, so the single seller only will be there. Next, monopolistic competitions. Monopolistic competitions, the producers always will be very large but lower than the perfect competitions market. Next, nature of the product. In perfect competitions, what type of the product will be there mean the homogeneous perfect substitute. The homogeneous product only will be there. But in monopoly, so the unique type of commodity will be there, and these commodities also will have never close substitute. For example, if any of the author is using or publishing any of the books, so there is no other substitute. Next, monopolistic competition, the differentiated product, but the close substitutes will be there. For example, the soap and the different type of the soaps. The different companies also producing the different type of soaps. So many of the peoples can easily get any of the close substitutes. Next, control over price. Then how the price will be decided in these perfect competitions, mean the price taker. In this perfect competitions market, so the sellers or the producers will be considered as a price taker. Price taker means he will never have the power to fixing the price for their commodities. On the basis of the demand and supply only the price will be determined. Next, in this monopoly market, the price is fixed by the monopolist. So the monopolist considered as a price maker. Next, in this monopolistic competitions market, some control depending on brand ad or loyalty. Some of the product or the price always will be included or subjected to the changing of the price for their other commodities. Next, the entry and exit way. In these perfect competitions, the entry of new firms and the exit of new firm is very easiest. So if any of the entrepreneurs want to enter into the market easily, he can come to the market, and if they want to leave from there easily, it will come. There is no government interventions. But in monopoly, barriers to entry, because already the monopolist may got the copyright and patent right by the legal way. So there is no way to enter into the another firms. So the strictly barriers will be existing in this monopoly market. But in this monopolistic competitions, so the entry and exit very free like a perfect competitions. Next, profit. In this perfect competitions, abnormal profit will be available in the short run and normal profit will be available in the long run. Because abnormal profit means in the short run we will never change the fixed factors. Only by changing the variable factors only we will get the profit. But in this long run, so we can change the fixed factor and the variable factor. By changing these two type of the factor, one firm can easily increasing the supply of commodities and he can be able to get the profit. Next, in monopoly market, so the monopoly profit mean how the monopoly want to earning the profit, he will definitely get, because he has the power to fixing the price for their own commodities. Then if it is like that, the monopolist will get more profit. But in this monopolistic competitions, so abnormal profit in short run, normal profit in long run, like a perfect competitions market. Next, market knowledge. How much market knowledge will be there in this about the perfect competitions mean? The complete market knowledge will be there. Both the buyers and sellers also will have the complete knowledge about the market and their product also. So in this monopoly also the complete market knowledge will be there, because if any of them want to approach any of the monopolist, the both the buyer and the sellers also will have the complete knowledge of the product and the market. But in this monopolistic competitions, the partial or the less amount or the partial of market knowledge only will be there, because the different type of the company will be produced, but we don't know, sometimes the consumers will don't know to understand about the commodities. Next, quantity. So in perfect competitions market, the quantity of productions will be very large. In this monopoly market, less compared to perfect competitions. But in this monopolistic market, it will be substantial. So how the price will be determined, how the price are going to follow in these perfect competitions mean the uniform and low prices. So even if the high prices are followed in this monopolistic market, the uniform price only will be available. But in this monopoly market, high price will be fixed by the monopolist. And in this monopolistic competitions, moderate and varied on the basis of their cost of productions, they will fixing the price for their commodity. Next, market power. In perfect competitions, the market power is nil or no. Sellers will have the market power, because on the basis of the demand and supply only the market power will be decided. But in this monopoly market, so the monopolist only will have the absolute market power. But in monopolistic competitions market, the limited market power will be held by the firms. The market powers also will be decided or on the basis of the other competitors. Okay, students, today I think it's enough. If you have any doubt, please ask me, and just you take your study portions in Duopoly markets. Thank you.